Have you ever wanted just one pair of shoes? A pair for everyday miles. A pair you can do speed training in. And even lace up for race day. I think I found just that in the Brooks Hyperion Max. This is a shoe built for daily miles, built for speed, and even fit for the starting line on a race day. I'm stoked out of my mind because it's quickly becoming my next favorite daily trainer. It's time to run in the Brooks Hyperion Max. Hey guys, my name is Joel. Before I start this review, I'm required to cover a couple of disclosures. It's less than 20 seconds, I promise. I just wanted to let you know some of these things so that you can be aware of where I received these shoes. So I was kindly given these shoes from Brooks for the purpose of review. But I'm not receiving any monetary compensation from Brooks to make the video. These opinions and observations are my own, and no one gets to preview or provide feedback prior to me posting this video here. If you like any of the products seen in the video, whether shoes, apparel, nutrition, or tech, please check out the Amazon affiliate links in the description box below. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Let's dive right in to the next shoe review in my shoe review series on Brooks Running. So you need to understand a few things about this shoe. I've found it's primarily designed for three primary objectives. The first being everyday runs. A lot of people call these your daily miles. Therefore, it's going to take the most amount of beating on the bottom of the shoe, the outsole. The second is speed. The fact is, these shoes are built to go really, really fast. They're designed to go faster than their competition's daily trainers at a similar price point and supposedly with more tech. Now, Brooks doesn't have the monopoly on Nitro Elite foam, but they do have their own Nitro Elite foam, and it's dialed in. It really pushes the envelope for the runner to perform extremely well. I found these to be the case in my testing. And going a step further, this isn't even like their own Adrenaline or Ghost line and meant for general non-specific runners. This shoe is meant for those who want to push their paces and get in speedy sessions, so it doubles as a tempo shoe or speed training shoe. Lastly, the cushioning is out of this world, guys. Despite it being built for speed, these have the comfort built in for really, and I mean really long sessions. It's not spongy and it doesn't break down or get permanently compressed over the miles. The foam is really resilient. It's sturdy as if it carries you through those miles. So let's dive more into the specifics of the upper and initial concerns I had with the shoe. Upon first trying, I was maybe more than a little concerned about the fit of the shoe, especially when I had tried on the fit for the Adrenaline GTS 23, and those seemed to be slightly more forgiving than these did initially. However, all concerns that the Hyperion Max was too narrow or too snug for my feet were done away with on my first run. This upper is surprisingly forgiving. Yes, it's more snug than the Adrenaline, but it comes as an advantage. I don't feel like they're too restrictive, not like the Novablast version 1 was. The upper gives you enough room to keep your runs aggressive, and that's the best way I can sum it up. This is actually a stretch woven upper comfortable to give you all the miles you're demanding out of your runs. It's breathable and the texture is silky smooth on top. It's super light and doesn't bring any attention to itself unless you're talking about the colorway. I haven't covered the specs yet. This is a men's size 12. I'll cover the fit here in a second. This is a neutral trainer with an 8mm drop. The stack height in the forefoot is 18mm, while the heel is at 26mm. Other things we'll touch on is the non-gusseted tongue, the DNA Flash nitro-infused midsole foam, and much, much more. So be sure you stick around for all those points. And continuing on, these shoes weighed in at 242 grams or 8.5 ounces for a single shoe, making this a very lightweight shoe for me in my US men's size 12, UK size 11, in the road shoe category. So like I mentioned, upon first trying, I was really concerned that the fit wouldn't work. I have a slightly wider foot than most guys, but not necessarily the point where I need to buy wide shoes. But I have to say this shoe didn't disappoint. The fit of the shoe feels tailor-made for my feet. The fit might be slightly more aggressive for some, but to me it just feels like a race day fit, built for quicker foot turnover and less concerns for internal foot movement. It's a very comfortable ride and a joy to run in. It's certainly comfortable enough to put in high mileage, back-to-back hours of running, even upwards of 4-hour runs. So I personally love the fit of this shoe in my US men's size 12. Although I'm pretty sure there will be a few of you who would want to size, maybe do a half size up if you think your feet are slightly wider and you definitely don't want a shoe that's more narrow than most. And before I move on, if you're finding this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's super helpful when you let me know how much you appreciate the content I'm putting out by doing so. Thank you so much. All right, now let's cover the tongue. Now my buddy Cody and I were talking, and one of the things he mentioned of the shoe was that he wasn't really a fan that the shoe didn't have a gusset. The issue he said he was having was that it would fold and crease in some places. I personally never experienced that issue myself. However, I'm definitely familiar with other shoes doing that. This happened quite a bit when I was running in the New Balance More V4 and in my Saucony Endorphin Pro version 1s. But for me personally, I didn't really experience the issue, so I would say as far as my fit, the tongue gives me no trouble. Other things that are worth mentioning, this collar is really nice. It has a great fit. There's no heel slippage. I did dial in the laces here. I always, nowadays, tend to use the laces all the way up top. I do wish that these laces were a little bit longer, but it's still good enough that I can actually get in a double knot, which is a high priority for me. But I don't use this eyelet here up where it's normally set up. So I use the lace of the eyelets further in the back here, just as a point of reference. Brooks has their own nitro-infused foam called DNA Flash. It's the foam Brooks used in the Hyperion Tempo, and it's what they're using in the latest version, the Hyperion. It's a sturdier midsole foam, but it's also very responsive. And I never ran in the Hyperion Tempo, but I have run in the Hyperion, and I can definitely say that the stack height makes this shoe feel more responsive in the ride during longer sessions. I really don't mind taking this out for my long runs. I'd be hard-pressed to run long in the Hyperion, but I know you guys are out there. Represent yourself in the comments if you like taking the Hyperion out for your long runs. You guys are a bunch of weirdos, but more power to you. Now, my break-in period for this was within my first run. There really wasn't a break-in necessary. At first, I was really surprised, being that I didn't know anything about this shoe from the get-go. To be honest, I thought that the name meant that it was actually a max cushion trainer, that it's going to be pretty high in the stack height, and not a max speed trainer. I found every one of my 81 miles very enjoyable. I found picking up the paces quite easy in these, and I really have to say I think this is going to be my next favorite daily trainer. To me, it really emulates the feeling of a plated trainer without the plate. The energy return in this exceeded my expectations from the first run and continues to be reliable with each subsequent run. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, no pun intended, but thus far it hasn't let me down. It's a real blast. Now let's cover the outsole. This rubber is really grippy, and I'm really surprised at how durable this rubber is. Normally at this point along the lateral part of my shoe, this section here starts to show signs of wear, but I honestly cannot see any degradation in the rubber so far. This is outfitted with their green rubber, and it's surprisingly sturdy. I expected an environmentally friendly rubber to be much less durable, but it's crazy how durable this one is compared to other ones that are less durable and that are also not eco-friendly. It baffles my mind. It's extremely lightweight, and I can't say enough. I'm super impressed. Man, I can't even see any sort of degradation here. It's crazy. 81 miles, and these shoes are looking phenomenal. This part here, not a big deal. This isn't affecting anything at all. It's really right here that is. It's amazing how good these look right now. I would have definitely expected these to be already worn down. It's crazy. These are phenomenal. Please consider subscribing if you're finding this video helpful. Also, please leave a comment on what stood out to you as the most helpful thing you found in the video. So how did it feel like running in the shoes? Because this is kind of really what you're actually wanting to know, I would assume. I've logged just over 81 miles so far in the Hyperion Max, and I have to say it's Brooks' most impressive shoe I've ever run in thus far. It's the closest thing I found to the Puma Deviate Nitro 2, possibly better. It's speedy, it's lightweight, it provides just enough comfort, meanwhile offering just enough stiffness to give you a pop in each toe off. You're going to want to use this shoe for speed training, tempo workouts, long runs, and really just your daily miles. So I personally say this is not a shoe that you want if you're going to use it as a walking shoe. The price point really doesn't lend itself that much to it being a walking shoe. So walking shoe is probably a nix for me. If you want a Brooks alternative, like a walking shoe that they would have, I'd go with the Adrenaline GTS 23. I just did a review on that, so check it out up here. This is a shoe you'd want if you need one shoe to do it all. There's really nothing this shoe can't do. All right, so there's a lot of you out there that really aren't a fan of plated trainers, and I don't necessarily seem to understand why. You can enlighten me on that, but I can definitely guarantee you that if you're looking for energy return that a plate can give you without it being a plate, this is the shoe you want. This is basically the shoe you've been waiting for. The fact that this is $170, it's not even plated, and it gives you the the return and that feedback that you're really wanting for 170 bucks. This is closer to the endorphin. I mean, I can't even say that. Like, my experience with the endorphin speed was okay, but I honestly didn't get the whole hype behind the speed. Like, even the endorphin Pro, I have that shoe sitting right here, and like, it's good. I mean, it got me through my first marathon, but like, it's not a shoe that I would say can prove to you it's worth. You really just kind of have to believe it. Really, what I wanted to emphasize is that this is basically the shoe you'd want if you don't want a plated trainer and you want something that's really responsive. It gives you that feedback. You can basically, where you place your foot on the road when you're doing your stride, it gives you a significantly better responsiveness than if you were to just, you know, take them out and just go for a run. So there's definitely rewards that you get with where your foot placement is, for sure. So if you're more in this section of the shoe, you're definitely going to get a much higher return, like energy return from this shoe. So that is definitely something worth clarifying as you're checking the shoe out. So it's not a shoe that you're going to want to use for like a max cushion. Like, it's not going to be your More V4. It's not even going to be your Novablast. This is way more responsive than the Novablast 3. And I think that that's a really big thing that I feel like I've been looking for this shoe for a while. It's also not the same price point as the Novablast 3. So what I can imagine is that this is closer to what the Superblast feels like. But I've never run in the Superblast, and I'm unless Asics sends me the Superblast, that shoe will never be purchased by me. I don't have the money for that shoe. Frankly, for it being not plated, I think that's a little insulting for the price. From what everyone says about the shoe, this is that shoe. And this is phenomenal. And it's also cheaper. So, yeah. This shoe is freaking amazing. Like, I love this shoe. This is a great running shoe companion for daily miles. So, for the plan for my marathon on October 1st at Portland, I'm going to be running in the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus. But, quite frankly, this shoe is, if I didn't have the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus, and if I didn't have like another race day shoe, this would be the shoe that I would definitely run in. Like, I would have no qualms running a marathon in this shoe. Absolutely none. It's not even necessarily their race day shoe, like marathon distance. I know you can certainly do 5Ks, 10Ks, and I would be super happy with even a half marathon. You can definitely push paces in this shoe. But if I didn't have like an alternative race day shoe already, this would be my pick for the October 1st Portland Marathon. So let's just go ahead and cover that rotation potential and final thoughts. Like I said earlier, this is my next favorite daily trainer. And I'll clarify that best daily trainer is only one facet this shoe can tackle. This is a very dynamic shoe. I also consider it a great go-to shoe for speed training. And not only that, but I'm confident if you haven't already, you'll start seeing these at starting lines of races, even up to marathon distances. So I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite daily trainer? Have you run in this shoe before? Let me know in the comments and tell me what you thought of the shoe if you have. So that concludes my review of the Brooks Hyperion Max. Really hope you found this video helpful. Please be sure to click the like button if you did, and let me know if you have any questions by leaving them in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos I put out. Thanks so much for watching, and if anyone asks you what your favorite running YouTube channel is, just tell them it's time to run.